Downey Jr., after a 5-year break, is returning to Marvel, but before he did that, he actually turned down Ryan Reynolds.
All right, you guys. So Ryan Reynolds obviously has to be deported back to Canada. Once again, this is a way for the left and the right to come together because no matter where you stand on the topic of mass deportations of illegals, we can now all agree that the moral crimes committed here by Ryan Reynolds against Justin Baldoni have amounted to high treason.
Robert Downey Jr. just made it clear he has no interest in working with Ryan Reynolds. Why? Because Ryan and Blake allegedly tried to set him up, just like they did with Justin Baldoni, according to rumors. Word on the street is that Ryan approached RDJ for a cameo, but he quickly saw through the deception and managed to steer clear of a risky situation. And while recent revelations about Hollywood's golden couple might play a role in all this, Justin speaking out about Ryan and Blake seems to have opened the floodgates. Now, other celebrities are stepping up, each taking turns exposing the pair. Even Martha Stewart had something to say about Ryan.
Well,
we asked Built members what celebrities would be the most fun to hang out with.
he's probably on the list just because he covers himself up in his movies and you don't see his face. Ryan Reynolds, is he one of those? And you want to know something? He's not so funny in real life.
Really?
And RDJ now backing Justin, it seems like Ryan and Blake might really be in trouble. But what exactly did RDJ say? And does he know something the rest of us don't? Let's dive in. Reports suggest that Robert Downey Jr. has firmly sided with Justin. When Ryan was putting together a list of actors for potential cameos in Deadpool 3, he reached out to RDJ as well. Honestly, that wasn't surprising. After all, RDJ is one of the biggest names in Hollywood. Screenwriters Rhett Reese and Paul Wernick even confirmed, saying, "We had wanted him to do a cameo. We had written that scene to start with Happy and Downey." Determined to get RDJ on board, Ryan went all out. He even read the script to him personally. But in a surprising twist, RDJ turned him down.
Robert Downey Jr., after a 5-year break, is returning to Marvel, but before he did that, he actually turned down Ryan Reynolds. Making the movie Deadpool and Wolverine, Hugh Jackman told Ryan Reynolds in 2021 he'd return as Wolverine after saying 4 years earlier he'd never come back doing the movie Logan. It was one of the most cameo-filled movies in history, where 45 different actors from both the MCU and the Fox universe returned for Deadpool and Wolverine. One actor Ryan Reynolds asked to return for Deadpool and Wolverine was Robert Downey Jr., saying he wanted him to share a scene with Jon Favreau. Jon Favreau does actually have a very big scene in the movie Deadpool and Wolverine, but that scene was originally written with Robert Downey Jr. taking the main stage and Jon Favreau only being a small part of it. He even wrote the scene in 2018 just so it would make sense for Robert Downey Jr.'s character to be in there because it does take place before the events of Avengers Infinity War. When Ryan Reynolds approached Robert Downey Jr. with the script, he said he was completely shocked he got an instant no. The reason was Robert Downey Jr. was already in talks to return as Dr. Doom, but he couldn't tell Ryan Reynolds. Ryan Reynolds said he didn't know about that until it was revealed, but now is happy for him and said he wants to fight him in Secret Wars.
According to Wernick, Ryan really pushed hard to make it happen. "We wrote scenes and Downey read them," he revealed. But what they didn't realize at the time was that there was more going on behind the scenes, specifically this whole Dr. Doom situation. However, fans aren't buying that excuse. Over the past few months, people have started seeing Ryan Reynolds in a new light, and the harsh reality is that he might not be the nice guy he claims to be. Still not convinced? Well, you might want to hear what Candace Owens has to say. She recently spoke with a source who claimed that Ryan was actually the one who set this entire Blake and Justin scandal in motion from the very beginning.
Candace Owens posted to her story saying she spoke to a source that claims Ryan Reynolds is the problem. She said the tip came from someone who allegedly worked on the set and said lately everyone is bashing Blake Lively, but apparently the true villain of the saga is Ryan. This person is alleging that everything started when Ryan Reynolds decided to stroll onto the movie set one day and review the dailies. This is an industry term for all the footage that they filmed for the day. And he also decided to take a look at the script, and between the two, something allegedly set him off. This person claims that the production assistants then overheard Ryan and Blake having an argument in her trailer. Ryan Reynolds started being on the set on a regular basis as if he were her chaperone, and that is when he started inserting himself into the actual production, including writing lines. And then she says the next part was alleged in their lawsuits that Ryan and Blake, perhaps in response to her husband's anger, began inserting themselves in the effort to change lines and change scenes. And of course, the allegation that Ryan Reynolds was making fun of Justin Baldoni in his movie when he played the character Nice Pool. And we did hear this, I believe, from Justin's lawsuit, but correct me if I'm wrong, but she also says that allegedly Ryan presented an ultimatum to WME, the biggest talent agency in Hollywood, whose client roster include everyone from Taylor Swift to Justin Baldoni. Basically saying that it's us or him. And again, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure this is what Justin Baldoni also alleged And I think he said it happened either at the premiere of It Ends With Us or the premiere of Deadpool and Wolverine. Obviously, she says we know what happens next. He gets dropped by WME. Wayfarer Studios had effectively been instantly blackballed, persona non grata in Hollywood instantly, and truly they had done nothing wrong but cast a woman into one of their movies with an allegedly very jealous husband. My source says that Justin Baldoni is legitimately a good guy who truly wanted to do this project, but he cares deeply about women issues. And she goes on to give what she believes. She says, I think Blake was fine with everything in the movie she signed on for, hence not requesting an intimacy coordinator, and then all that changed the day her husband showed up on set and allegedly blew a fuse. She also believes that it was probably him that demanded Justin be put in the basement for the premiere.
And no, Candace isn't just speculating. She has real receipts to back it up. In fact, Justin's lawsuit makes the same shocking claims. According to the legal documents, on July 22nd, 2024, Lively, Reynolds, and other cast members attended the Deadpool and Wolverine premiere. During the after-party, Wayfarer reportedly learned that Ryan approached a senior executive at WME and expressed strong resentment toward Baldoni, even going as far as to suggest that the agency was working with a bleep. And honestly, the fact that Ryan even invited these people in the first place is raising all kinds of red flags.
If he wants to go after you, he infests himself into every area of your life. And he did this Justin Baldoni. He's like, who are your friends? Okay. Who owns the production company? Who owns the next movie script? I am going to infest myself everywhere. I'm going to be doing your movie premiere. I'm going to be doing promos and making fun of you. Right? I'm going to put myself in the end credits. Like, this is like psychotic behavior.
And that's just the tip of the iceberg. Candace isn't the only one calling out Ryan. More and more celebrities are stepping out of the shadows as this drama continues to shake up the industry. After all, what's the point of staying silent when the public already knows half the truth? Take Martha Stewart, for example. She recently spoke out saying that Ryan isn't the funny, charming guy everyone thinks he is.
We asked Built members what celebrities would be the most fun to hang out with.
He's probably on the list just because he covers himself up in his movies and you don't see his face. Ryan Reynolds, is he one of those? And you want to know something? He's not so funny in real life.
Really?
No, he's not so funny. He's very serious. No, Taylor, then I would do Snoop, and then I would take Ryan off it, and I would put in somebody else.
I'm so surprised that Ryan Reynolds isn't funny. This is like a shocker to me.
No,
I see him
he's a good
walking up
actor.
and down our neighborhood all the time.
He can act funny. But he isn't funny. Maybe he can get to be funny again.
I'm so disappointed, actually.
I'm going to get in trouble.
Now, most people might think Martha was just throwing shade at Ryan's sense of humor, but a big part of the internet believes she was hinting at something much deeper. Many suspect she wanted people to read between the lines, that Ryan isn't just not so funny, but a manipulative control freak. And yes, that might sound like a stretch, but before you jump to conclusions, you might want to hear from some of Ryan's co-stars, like Morena Baccarin from the first Deadpool movie. She took a back seat in the franchise after the first film, and many believe Ryan was the reason behind it. To be fair, Morena never directly blamed Ryan. When asked about her absence from the sequel, she admitted, I understand why people felt that way, and I was definitely disappointed that I didn't have more to do because I loved the role so much. But after reading the script and watching the film, I felt my character's presence was still emotionally significant, even though I didn't have many scenes. However, insider reports suggest that Ryan actually gave Morena the same treatment as Justin Baldoni, allegedly banning her from attending press events and more.
Then I went and dug a little bit more, and the director of Deadpool, Tim Miller, did this interview and said that he left the Deadpool franchise because of Ryan Reynolds. He said it became clear that Ryan wanted to be in control of the franchise. You can work that way as a director quite successfully, but I can't. I don't mind having a debate, but if I can't win, I don't want to play. And I don't think you can negotiate every creative decision. There's too many to make. So Ryan's the face of the franchise. So if he decides that he wants to control it, then he's going to control it. Sounds familiar.
Yeah, it does.
The worst part, Morena was actually this close to playing a much bigger role in the franchise, but Ryan didn't agree with that move. So he and the director butted heads about it. However, in the end, Ryan got his way and Morena was banished to the sidelines.
But I think after he got super, super famous from the first Deadpool, then things kind of changed. I think he was like, see, you guys see. And then I think I don't know. I mean, would I work with him again? No.
No,
I would not work with him
that
again.
much vitriol.
But I've said that about Michael Bay, and now we're friends, and I would work with him again. But I think Michael Bay is different. And Michael Bay worked on a movie with Ryan Reynolds also. And so he has a very specific opinion
That may mirror
of
your
Ryan
own.
Reynolds. And that was a good part of our last conversation with me and Bay. But I sort of wish him well because he's so good at Deadpool. And I think it's weird that he hates me.
Miller also thought that once you peel back the layers, Ryan was just an insecure guy who found gratification in putting down others.
You felt it coming from him.
Everybody did. That's why it was awkward. Everybody was like, why is Ryan doing this? And the other weird thing is like, maybe he got, I think he's kind of an insecure dude. He's really nice, but I mean, his Twitter bio is showing you the parts of me that tested the best in focus groups.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not sure that he's joking. I think that might actually be his real sentiment.
And get this, Moreno wasn't the only one who had to step back from the Deadpool franchise because of Ryan. Remember TJ Miller? He played Weasel in the first 2 movies, but more often than not, he found himself on the outside looking in. According to him, Ryan Reynolds' attitude had a lot to do with it. Back in 2022, Miller opened up on the Adam Carolla Show podcast, revealing that his experience with Ryan on set was anything but pleasant. He described Reynolds' behavior as unsettling, saying, "As the character, he was horrifically mean to me, as if I'm actually Weasel. He was like, you know what's great about you, Weasel? You're not the star, but you do just enough exposition to be funny, and then we can move on to the real movie." Miller made it clear he had no interest in returning for Deadpool. 3, even if they offered him double the pay. Naturally, this left people wondering, why would Ryan treat him this way? Well, according to Miller, the fame had completely gone to Ryan's head.
Like, what does it mean to be back with Anna? Oh, it's the best. I'm so happy. Anna, what does it mean to be working with Blake again? We're talking about you all day. Oh my God. Oh, come on. Get it in selfie mode.
And it's not just Ryan. Turns out his wife, Blake Lively, isn't much different. According to rumors, the actress is just as much of a control freak. If that sounds hard to believe, just take a look at Anna Kendrick. She and Blake first worked together on A Simple Favor in 2018, and now they're reuniting for the sequel. But fans can't shake the feeling that Anna isn't exactly thrilled about it. Many believe she had no real interest in working with Blake again, but circumstances forced her hand. The way Anna dodged the question had fans convinced she wasn't thrilled about working with Blake, and insider reports seem to back that up. Apparently, the two have been clashing behind the scenes. According to one source, there's a giant pink elephant in the room that no one is acknowledging. The backlash to the initial promo has been brutal. People are protesting and refusing to see it. The source also revealed that Anna and Blake only share a working relationship, not a real friendship or bond. Executives are now scrambling for a solution because Anna reportedly wants to distance herself from Blake moving forward. Originally, both agreed to do joint promotion as the studio requested, but now Anna may go solo to avoid getting caught up in the controversy. Beyond this, neither Anna nor the rest of the cast expects to be deeply involved. In fact, Anna is ready to handle promotional duties alone, as she doesn't want to dodge questions about Blake's lawsuit or turn every interview into a Lively versus Baldoni discussion. While Blake is contractually obligated to promote the film, she's been given the freedom to decide how involved she wants to be beyond SXSW. But don't get it twisted, Anna's issue with Blake isn't just about the drama. It's because Blake, much like her husband, is a control freak who steamrolls everyone around her. Between the two, Anna is clearly the bigger star, so it only makes sense that she would get top billing over Blake. But according to insiders, Blake wasn't about to let that happen, and the proof is right there on the movie poster. One fan pointed out something odd, saying, "I don't know if I'm reading too much into this, but I just noticed something about Another Simple Favor. The poster lists Anna Kendrick's name first, but Blake Lively's name is placed higher, off to the side. It doesn't make any sense. It looks so weird." They even went back to compare it to the original A Simple Favor poster, where Anna's name was listed properly before Blake's. So why the sudden change? A quick search shows that Anna has been in 50 films, while Blake has only done about 25. And when it comes to box office success, Anna's films have grossed over $2 billion, while Blake's sit at just over $1 billion. So why would Blake's Mambointe Seintreuerd name be floating above Anna's? Was this a demand from Blake to manipulate the billing order? Did she find a loophole to make herself seem more important? Some say it's just an artistic choice, but when you look at the poster, it's hard to ignore how strange it looks. At the end of the day, Ryan and Blake seem like a nightmare to work with, so it's no surprise RDJ wanted no part of it. But what do you think? Could Ryan's bad behavior be the real reason RDJ turned him down? And how will Ryan and Blake recover from this? Let us know your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to check out our next video.